I'ma do a la like this. Gotta be something.
Welcome to Coin Flip. We have a very, very special guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have FELICIA Guy-LYNCH. Yes. Oh man, yo, seriously, I love this girl. She is the author of the book Time for Healing, author of the book 365. The other book was called
Scattered Thoughts, A Stream of Consciousness.
Yes, that was spoken word.
Poetry. Try to translate to spoken word.
Yeah. That was your first book.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like every guest that comes through Coin Flip, we usually ask them to, give us a little bit of an offering, a piece that is special to you, like maybe your favorite piece. Would you share with us right now?
All right. Well, my favorite piece is called Religion, and it goes a little something like this.
Nice.
You may want enlightenment like Buddha. You might be a Rasta champion of 12 tribes of Israel like Judah. You might believe in that old rugged cross. You might high-five the pillars and make Allah the boss. You might have had your own bar or bat mitzvah. You might read Sanskrit and call on Krishna. You might believe in something not neglected to mention, but why do we allow the firm beliefs to create such tension? See, when we all grow old, we're going to be jocking that pension. Remembering to be ill-minded while love falls short of long-term retention. Cut any with any belief in you will always get read. Yeah, we act like we the best. And ignorance continues to be fed. Now, I ain't no atheist, because I know there's something greater than me. I just don't want to get caught up in debating what I can't see. So like a God-given treat, I just want to be void of titles and man-made semantics. We all need love, baby. Let's come up with peace tactics. That's religion.
All right, no, seriously, I heard you perform that piece before, and I love it. I would like to know, like, what inspired you to write that?
Well, I did have an interview with my homeboy Walls Rants on the Come Up, and I'll kind of regurgitate what I said by saying I just want to see unity. People forget that what keeps a next man's body warm is what keeps you warm, right? So think about the number of colors that we have in the rainbow, 7, right? Just like we have 7 continents on Mother Earth. Still, even though it's in different regions, we all are on one accord. We're all on Mother Earth. We all need the resources. We all need the same things. You know what I mean? So the same thing with religion. It doesn't matter what you believe in. The Creator doesn't create anyone differently. He doesn't give you blue blood, green blood, yellow blood, etc., etc. He doesn't make your shit taste like patty. His tastes like, granola bars. And you understand, like, people don't understand, like, really, it's one love. Like, Bob Marley, he's an example. He epitomizes that. Like, even though reggae came out of Jamaica, man brought the whole world together through that. One love. So I just wanted to kind of, I guess, relive that and channel that through religion. It doesn't matter what you believe in, It's love. And I learned there's another dimension to love. Agape. There's 4 types of love.
Agape.
Yeah, so agape is like the highest form of love, selfless love, where don't matter if the person want to box in your face, you turn the other cheek, it's like, yo, can't take anything from me. I'm going to love you still. I'm not saying that we can't transcend the flesh, because we all have emotions. I'm sure if we get hurt, you might retreat, you might act out, you might be vindictive or whatever. But I guess the ultimate soul's goal is to attain that agape love. That's why you have people like Jesus Christ and like other Christos representations in different religions. It's the same thing, the same essence of the Most High God. If we could just get to that, the world will be a better place. Yeah, so that's my inspiration.
That is so true. Before the cameras started, we started talking, and I was letting you know. I mean, myself, I actually found. I met. Andrew Hofford. Andrew Hofford.
No, I don't know her.
All right. Shout out to Andrina. Yeah. No. Basically, she promotes this thing, the love of oneself.
Okay.
Self-love, right? And I found for me myself personally, that with self-love is basically what got me on my path to do everything that I do, including this coin flip thing. Right. Because had I not started to love myself, I would not have started to actually believe in myself also, right? So now, as going back to religions now, I mean, and I thought about it also when I came to that realization. Not many religions preach self-love.
That's true.
What would you think? Do you think, what do you think that's so?
Unfortunately, like, you know, we live in a realm where there's polarities, the good and the bad. The good cannot exist without the bad. So religion has its good and its bad. And unfortunately, I think that people who are in authority figures of religion, they use that to kind of immobilize people into fear, which is the complete opposite of love. So if they teach people how to externalize that pure potentiality, which again, we all have the same source of, you know, you get focused on your ego, which is edging God out. And then that's when you start to realize, you start putting your faith in other people, and it starts with self. And even, that's the premise of my book, For Time for Healing. You can't go out there trying to build people if you can't build within yourself. As so above, so below. As so within, so without. So that's it.
Now, talking about Time for Healing, let's show it to the camera here. Beautiful book. The drawing was done by
my boyfriend, love of my life, Bradley Lindsay. Very dope artist. Check him out at www.theuniverseismycanvas.com.
Shout out to Bradley. And
my homeboy Sean Ray, man, he really brought to life what Bradley illustrated.
Yes.
So, you know.
All right. Shout out to Sean.
Sean Ray Bennett.
Yes.
Good looking out, bro.
All right. Now, what was the inspiration behind this story? Because what I've seen, your first book was a collection of poems. 365 is poems for the entire year.
Actually, it's just a quote a day.
Quote a day, exactly, right? Exactly. So now with this is an actual like full out story that you put out. Like what inspired you to put this out there?
First and foremost, what inspired me is wanting to grow as a writer, and I diversify the mediums that I write in. And spoken word and poetry was the first avenue. It will always be my first love in terms of me getting out there, but I wanted to evolve and say, you know what? Then I went to quotes. Let me expound upon it, but have more of a flow. Because even though there's a stream of consciousness and scattered thoughts, it's either you get it or you did. You know what I mean? So I want people to have like a story where there's a setting, characters, etc., etc. So yeah, and it's based on a true story, and it's mixed up with fiction to kind of keep it, you know, keep it interesting.
Exactly.
But what's learned is, again, I think it's universal truths that could be applied to anyone who reads the book. And it's not just for sisters, it's for brothers, the Mongolian brothers, Australian brothers, like anyone who gets their hands on that, they could see themselves in it one way or another. So yeah, just trying to show people you can transcend the limitations of your struggles. You don't have to, you're not your problem. You know, it's who you are is how you get past that, and sharing the knowledge. That's what it is.
When you say that it's based on a true story, would that be yours?
Yeah, it would be my story. Yeah. I mean, you gotta. I think as a writer, if you're gonna start with what you know, so that you know when people read it, it could connect to it, because people could smell out fakery. You know, whether you're performing or you're writing, even if you're acting, it takes a good actor to convince that person that they're channeling the right energy to get out that archetype. You know what I mean? So I said, you know, I might as well start with my story, and then whatever is fictional, you know, that's the beauty of it. No one's gonna really know what's true from what's real. All you need to realize is the lessons that are learned and what applies to you and edifies you, and dump the rest. So yeah, based on my true story.
Now, something else you said that you were looking to expand. You know, not just stay in poems or quotes or short stories. Where do you plan on going? Like, what would be a project, like a pet project that you have in mind, like right now?
It would be along the lines of a musical EP, because I do sing as well, and I'm coming out of my shell with that little by little. And I play the piano as well, so I'm hoping to translate my poems into songwriting, and like my piano playing into like production. and like getting it and blending it in that and reaching my generation, because we live in a generation where we're so like the attention is so short lived.
Yes.
So reading is like, I don't want to read this. I want to get my iPod. So I'm like, yeah, well, I'm gonna be resilient to that. Still, I'm not gonna compromise what I want to put out there, because I want to put out quality. I want people to see my name. It's attached to quality stuff and timelessness. So you know, when I pass on, people, the next generation, like, you know, this sister wrote this, and it's timeless. You know what I mean? So I just see myself going musical. Nice. I don't know when, but I'm just hoping, you know, the doors open up. Yeah. Yeah, so.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this time I'm going to ask you to share with us another poem. This time, what would you say is the crowd favorite in terms of poetry?
You should know. That's the crowd's favorite, because it's a poem that is interactive. All they got to do is say 3 words, but when I read to them, it's like basically, I guess, wisdom attained. It was inspired by Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, and I drew some very timeless, wise remarks in that. And I said, you know what? Let me put my own spin on it, but get the audience feeling like, yo, you should know too. You know, so that was my. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have it fully memorized. Yeah. But I do have another poem that I wrote that is not a part of Scattered Thoughts or Stream of Consciousness, and it's called Transparency. Yeah. And it's the first piece that I actually came up with without writing. So it goes. Dear God and goddesses of Mother Earth, it's time to rid the old and for the new to be given birth. Mother Earth, she's going through some changes. Unlock them mental chains, bust out them cages. Did you know that you could be heard without a word nor a sound? Vibe so fly, a single drop will make you drown. Illuminati, they say Israel naughty secrets getting out, wanting our soul and our body. You see, mama thinks I'm off track because I don't go to church every Sunday. I tell my mama not to worry, I'll face the creator one day. I'm sick and tired of these old pervs trying to catch me with their money. It's funny, because I got mad love for my one and only honey, you dummy. You see, if you didn't sell your soul, you still have a chance. You still have a chance. You still have a chance at what you may ask. The answer comes from within. With you. Though I'm slim, I could be insecure. I shouldn't. I'm not my body. It's temporary. I'm my biggest critic. We all can be. Start to be your own best friend with the guidance of the Most High, of course. You see, others might be prettier than me, but my biggest competition is me yesterday. Comparison's got nothing on me. No one shit can make patty, nor piss lemonade, nor Burger's pudding. I know. You get the point. I just had to state the obvious to make my point, because God and goddesses are Mother Earth. It's time to rid the old and for the new to be given birth. You see, Mother Earth, she's going through some changes. Will you unlock the mental chains? Will you bust out them cages?
Nice. We gotta do a snap, man. It is a poetry show. We gotta start snapping up in here. No, that was awesome.
Thanks.
Now, what was the inspiration for this one?
Like finding strength in displaying your weaknesses and not being scared of the ramifications of it. I mean, that was inspired by a book that I read by Deepak Chopra. His name it's called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. And he talks about the law of pure potentiality. And he says to tap into that, you got to be in a meditative state, silence, and like watch your thoughts, be in tune with nature, and be immune to criticism. Because I'm noticing a lot of people in our generation, we put so much emphasis on haters. Start giving them so much attention. Maybe those haters are lovers misguided. Yeah. That's why they're putting so much attention to you in the first place. So instead of saying, oh, hate is this, hate is that, you'll love them the same way. But like, still display your weaknesses, because people, you know what makes everyone unique is that we're all different. Exactly. But there's that's a similarity in that, is that we're all different. You know what I mean? So you think that what you're going through is just akin to you, but there's someone out there the underside of the world who might be going through the same thing. It's how you deal with it again, right? So yeah, man, be transparent. It's kind of like even 8 Mile. You remember Eminem? Yeah. Remember at the end, man was rapping about foolishness that man was supposed to use against him. yo, he stole the show because he did the reverse psychology. The man had nothing to say.
Exactly.
So that's what I want. People see me. Yo, no one can't tell me anything because I already done show you where I'm going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I already know where I'm going. If you want to try to use it against me, it shows how weak you really are and how much you need to get over yourself.
Yeah.
I'm already getting over myself. So, you know, get with the program.
Yeah, no, it's like I was saying, I love your personality. You're just so welcoming, basically.
Yeah.
Now, hearing you talk, I can tell that you're very well read. Like you read a lot.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Would you say that's that's something that is, if you were to give any advice to anybody that's trying to come up into the into poetry or even writing, would you tell them that, you know, that's actually something that needs to be
Most
done?
definitely, because readership has gone down. Like I said before, attention span is so short. And there's a difference between information and knowledge. You need to screen out. You have to use your discernment. What is your soul gravitate most to? Again, what edifies you most if you're on that quest to, like, trying to find yourself?
Yeah.
You know, read stuff that, like, yo, this is what I'm on. This is me. Or, I didn't know this about myself before. Let me read other things that are attached to that so I could, you know, keep it moving and just keep going on my journey. So yeah, it's not so much, reading a whole bunch of stuff. It's the quality. What are you extrapolating from it? Because, yeah, there's a lot of theory out there too, but where's the practicality? Where's the fruits of that? You know? So that's why I tell people, just whatever. Notorious B.I.G. says it most, and Sky's the Limit. He says, only make moves when your heart's in it, and live the phrase, sky's the limit. The only thing I disagree with that is sky's not the limit. Sky was never the limit. Just make moves when your heart's in it, and just remember that you come from unlimited, pure potentiality.
Yes.
Just keep it moving. Just,
So my two questions. I'd like to know who your favorite author is, and also because music is seems to be so important for you, right? If there was any song out there that could be, that you would say, like, you know what, it is Felicia's anthem, which one is it, and why?
all right. Well, the author, I'd have to say my favorite author is Sister Soldier, because she really inspired a generation to write from, I guess, a discourse from people who are not noticed in the mainstream, which is the impoverished, the people who are just underdogs, but, you know, they really want to better themselves. My favorite musician would have to be Erykah Badu. And right now, where I'm at in my life, I'd have to say, Didn't You Know is my anthem. Because I'm still trying to find my way, you know, so, yeah. Yeah.
So, Didn't You Know, that's Felicia's anthem.
Yeah.
And Sister Soldier.
Didn't you know?
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Now, in terms of, let's talk about 365. You wrote, let's hold this one up. Sorry. There's 365 right here. I think this is pretty awesome to actually come up with 365 quotes for an entire year and just like give them to people, and you know, like people just taking it.
Right.
All right. What brought you to actually do this one?
I was really looking to be, I guess, a lot lighter than the denseness that I had in Scattered Thoughts or Stream of Consciousness, because poetry, you put your everything in it. Emotions, good and bad, experiences, good and bad, what you learn from it. 365, I wanted to kind of, again, I guess, give some contrast. Like, quote, something light and crispy. All right, this is my mantra. All right, you know? And then whatever happens in the day that reminds me of that mantra to continue to, you know, be lighter. So, again, that's illustrated by the love of my life, Bradley Lindsay.
Yes.
I told him, you come up with a concept, and that was very accurate.
That works.
Yeah, you know,
It
it's like one step at a time, 365 days, you know, one day at a time. So, yeah, that's why I just wanted to write just a quote a day, something light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to write?
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
Oh wow, wow. Because I you know what, I was thinking maybe every day you just wrote a quote like that.
No, you know what? There are actually some quotes that I extrapolated from like proverbs, from like Chinese proverbs and African proverbs, and like I guess songs that I found that were inspirational and quotes that just stuck out. and like other sources. So what I need to do in my future revised editions is just put the name of the people underneath, and just, you know, give them the credit that's due. Because when I first did it, I didn't know about this whole, you know, unknown quotes versus people who actually did the quote. So I want to give homage to them. So that's gonna come out in a future edition.
Now, we were saying you talk that relationship you have with your boyfriend Badly, like it seems like it's so connected to your work. So tell us, how did you guys meet?
Well, I used to see him on the bus. I used to go to Sheridan in Mississauga, and I used to live in Brampton. Or I still live in Brampton, but I had to take the Zoom. And I'd see him, like, yo, he's so cute, he's so sexy. I'm like, I don't have time for no boys right now. I gotta stay focused. So, you know, I would see him periodically, but, you know, just stay in my lane. And then I finished, I graduated. And then I saw him, I guess a month after I graduated. He had this big piece of art, and he was struggling. I'm like, you know what, God? For coming off at the same stop, I'm going to help him. But it's really me wanting to see if I could get to know him, you know? Because, you know, the talent's there. So I'm like, oh, okay, man needs help. So I'm like, yo, you need any help? He's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, yo, give me this. Like, you know you need help. He's like, okay, thanks. He was all bashful and everything. And then I asked him about his art. He was telling me he has aspirations to, like, have his own art exhibits and have his own studio and, like, just grow as an artist and have, like, a gallery. And I'm just like, yo, this man's got ambition. I love this. Because I'm already doing my thing with my book, so it's good that, you know, I was at least attracted to that. So I don't know if I gave him my number. I just don't remember, but I remember him calling me like 2 days.
I remember.
Who gave who what?
You gave me yours.
Really? I chopped you, eh?
Yeah.
I don't chop man's down playing. But yeah, he called me 2 days later, and then ever since then, like, everything else, you know, flowed after that. And one thing I noticed about him, he's very low key. Like, he's very talented, but just, like, you know, to himself with his arm. Like, what are you doing? You know, the world needs to see. And this man had like a news hour. Was it CBC back in 2007? They went to his school and everything. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, I just wanted to box him for, like, hiding his stuff, you know. And I'm like, you know what? New Year's, we're gonna collaborate. And I told him I wanted to do a book of quotes. And he's like, okay, you want to tell me the ideas? And I'm like, no, you're the artist. You come up with the ideas. And he came up with this. And I'm just like, oh.
And that's how 365 was born.
Yeah, and I'm just like, damn, this guy is so, like, he's like my artistic husband. You know, I know kind of it's different from the traditional going down the aisle and, you know, the ring. But I'm speaking in terms of, like, artistically. Like, even though I mess with the words and he messes with the visuals, like, when we come together, it's like, wow.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Basically. It comes up as the art that
Time
we see
for
right
healing
here.
too. I told him I'm not giving you any, you know, you're the artist. Whatever resonates with you most to express in the book cover. You already know the title. You already know what it's about. You come up with the rest. And I'm just like, is that me? He's like, yeah. I'm just like, damn, I didn't know my booty's that big. You know? But, you know, it's artistic expression. So, yeah. So I'm just like, damn. And then when I said, you know what, I want to digitize it and just bring it to life. And then Sean Ray came up and he just was butter. Yeah. Speechless. I'm just like, from now on, I'm not, you know, you're not going nowhere. You're staying right here. And I mean that in the most loving way. So.
Has he inspired any form of poetry that you've written?
Not as of yet, but there's songs that I've been on projects for where it was very akin to how I felt. The emotionality, like, someone already wrote the song, but the way I delivered it, I would had him in mind. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. I would ask for you to share one with us, but you don't have them.
I don't have. Nah, I don't. Still, I'm still kind of shy. Y'all pray for me. Pray for me. I'm getting there.
All right. I'm gonna ask for a last piece of poem, and that last piece would have to be the very first one. That you
Just thinking. Just thinking is the very first. Okay.
Yeah. If you could share that with us.
Yeah. It goes. Many denominations supposed to be as one. Legalism makes no room for fun. Faith, belief, and unverified thought. Question what you've been taught. Difference between religion and spirituality. Humans multiple in dimensionality. Correction and subjective errors. Muslims are peaceful. America sends out them terrorists. War on terror, more like war on error. Prepare as we usher into the new age of the water bearer. That's just thinking. It's the name of that poem.
That is awesome, actually. That is awesome. Yeah,
Thanks.
definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a poetry show, y'all. I mean, it's snapping fingers, y'all. Get with it.
For real.
Alright. I'm being told that we got 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, tell us future projects and where you'll be performing in the next few days, months, weeks.
I got a joint that I was invited to. It's called Interact. It's on the 23rd of March.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hosted by my homegirl Anika and Alexandra.
Mm-hmm.
And I was invited to do a poetry slam. We're going to be teaming up with the Hamilton poetry slam team. It's going to be through Sultry. Shout out to my homegirl Brianna for starting that.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
I also have some book signings coming up. That'll be in Woodbridge, Bayview Village, Shawnee, Richmond. I have a different book list March 15th. I think it starts at 6, probably ends around 8. I guess it depends on, how busy it will be. I have a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I have to, yeah, so off the top of my head, that's what's going to be going on. Yeah.
I got one last question. Because you mentioned poetry slam, right?
Yeah.
Poetry slam, spoken word poetry. What's the difference?
I think poetry slam is more, I have a feel that's more competitive.
Yeah.
Spoken word is more, you do things at your own pace, at your own time. You set the rhythm. And whoever vibes with you, vibes with you. Whoever doesn't, I guess, they won't catch it the second time around. So I think that's the difference for me based on my perceptions. Yeah.
Have you done poetry slams before?
No.
No?
I said in transparency, I'm my biggest competition. I'm just not for competition with other people, because that's when you breed insecurities. I'm like, oh, should I have said it this way? Oh, like you start comparing yourselves to other people. I think art is like apples and oranges.
Mm-hmm.
You can't compare another poet to another.
Yeah.
If you're doing better than you were before, good for you. You should be your only biggest competition.
Yes.
Nobody else.
Yes.
Or you're always gonna be, looking outside, but you need to look within so you could stay awake.
True.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. I wish we could have more time. This is definitely I enjoy speaking with you. You are an amazing artist.
Thanks.
Again, I'm a big fan of your work. I'm about to get finished on Time for Healing. That's for sure.
Hope you like.
And I hope to get to see more. I mean, even like novels from.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be working at that.
All right. So, y'all, this was another edition of Coin Flip. Thank you for coming, everybody. And this was Felicia Guy-Lynch.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For reaching.
All right.
And till next time, this.
Can't give what you don't have. Might be out of my league, but it won't stop me from acknowledging you.
You should know.
Sometimes people don't teach you, you simply learn from them. Darkest hour comes just before dawn.
You should know.
Not loving yourself? External positive affirmations useless. Sometimes relinquishing power is the most powerful thing to do.
You should know.
To absorb by the trees, might never get out the forest. Best to be intrinsically priceless and to feel like $1,000,000.
You should know.
Reeking of righteousness comes from the whiff of a repent, adoring the aroma of your descent.
You should know.
Realize it's worth your heart to expend its energy on. Those who gossip to you will eventually gossip about you.
You should know.
Wisdom is avoiding all thoughts that weaken you. Those who anger you control you.
You should know.
How you treat and make people feel is all that matters when you're just a memory.
You should know.
Superstition is an unnecessary burden to bear. Love is distinct from possession.
You should know.
The fear of suffering is worse than suffering itself. Every blessing ignored becomes a curse.
You should know.
We all see the world based on what we want instead of what it really is. Everyone knows how others should live, but none of their own.
You should know.
Can't solve a problem if it's trapped inside your mind. It's a discussion blind.
You should know.
If you don't care to fight anymore, you have inner peace. That's my take on things. Just thought you should know. Thank you.